When Kirby Smart hired Brian McClendon earlier this year, everyone knew the reason why. It's because the guy can recruit. No matter where he's coaching, no matter what position group he's coaching, Brian McClendon knows how to go into a prospect's living room, win over the family, and get the commitment. Now, I don't think it's going to be a perfect class as it relates to wide receiver in this 23 class, but I do think that at the end of the day, Georgia fans are going to be very excited and very happy with the group that Brian McClendon signs on signing day. So that's basically what this video is about, who they have on board, the remaining targets, the possibility of them maybe getting a commitment or two in the next several weeks, and what this class could look like come December and a grade that comes along with it. So there's a lot to talk about, and I think Georgia could be getting some good news on that front in over the ne'xt several weeks. So let's dig into it. Now, the first guy I want to talk about is maybe a forgotten prospect because he's been committed for so long, and that's Raymond Cottrell. 6'2", 210 pounds now. He's a guy, he's a sure-handed receiver who knows how to break tackles. He's got plenty of size, but he's added a lot of muscle recently, and he's a guy who loves Georgia. He's ranked as the number 16 wide receiver in the country. Extremely respectable right there. Number 22 prospect in Florida. Listen, if you're a top 50 prospect in the state of Florida, you are a really, really good player. He comes in at number 22 overall, and that's something I think Georgia fans have to be really excited about. Number 97 overall prospect in the country. And this is according to the On3 consensus, which takes all of the rankings by the rest of the websites, the industry, whatever, however you want to say it, and combines them all together. So across the board, this dude is a top 100 player in the country. So he knows what he's doing. He's got size. He runs well for his size. I don't think he's a blazer by any means, but he can create separation. He knows how to run a route, and he is excited to play for Coach McClendon. So solid 4-star prospect, and I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think that ranking could increase over the next several months when they come out with those final rankings. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he moved up from 97 in the country. Yazid Haynes, a guy that Georgia staff absolutely loves. He won them over June 1st when he earned an offer. They asked him to come back for an official visit in June. He did, and that's when he wanted to be a Bulldog, he told me. And then late last month, flipped from Penn State to Georgia. Don't let the low ranking fool you. This guy is explosive, and he's got a great frame. He's not a small dude at all. He's 6'1", 170 pounds. So he's got some length on him. He's got some size. He can go up and get the football, but he is a vertical threat. He's a threat in the screen game. Get him in space with the football. He's going to make you pay. He was back in Athens in the last weekend of July to work out again for the camp, and we were told that he blew them away. So number 69 wide receiver in the country, number 11 player in Pennsylvania, number 490 player in the country. Again, don't let that fool you. I think his ranking is only going to increase. And the Georgia staff loves him, and they love him enough to accept his commitment. Listen, this 23 class across the country is loaded. There are a lot of really good wide receivers, and they're in the mix for two of the best in the state of Florida still, but they decided, you know what, we love this kid, Yazid Haynes. He's tearing guys up in front of us at these camps. We're going to try to get him on board, and they did. So, again, 6'1", 170, kid who can fly. The staff is saying, sign me up all day. Sign this kid up all day. So they've got two on board, two guys who can make plays, and I think they are probably trending for two more. One of them being Tyler Williams, 6'3", 200 pounds out of Lakeland, Florida. Big basketball star, still learning the position. I think played some quarterback as a sophomore. Had a really big year last year. When he catches the ball, good things happen, and he makes them count. He didn't light up the stat sheet, but when he caught a pass, it went for big yards, and oftentimes it went for a touchdown. But this is a kid who I think is only going to see his ranking increase. Right now, he's the number 18 wide receiver in the country. Again, incredibly respectable right there. Number 29 player in Florida, number 125 overall in the country. I think those three rankings could improve over time. I think he's towards the top of Georgia's board. He was in Athens in late July, that final weekend before the August dead period. And right after that said, he pulled out the no interviews tweet, until I make my commitment originally. And I still think this is kind of the plan, to commit September 27th. Georgia, Texas A&M, South Carolina, and maybe a few others still in the mix. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if he decided to jump on board a lot sooner than that, maybe make a commitment in mid-August, maybe late August. But I think Georgia has been the team trending for a while now. If you've been watching any of these videos the past 2 months, I've said the same thing and I haven't backed off. I think Georgia leads for him. I think he's very high on their board, and I think Georgia fans should be really excited if this kid decides to commit to the G anytime soon. So originally planned September 27th, still might be the case, but watch out for a commitment possibly later this month. If that happens, I think Georgia could be the team to beat. Anthony Evans out of Texas, one of the fastest players in the country, runs, 10.27 in the 100-meter. This kid can absolutely fly. A little bit on the smaller side, but that's okay. 5'11", 160. I wouldn't call that super small. And he's got a little height to him. So he's not short, but he's explosive. Another guy who can beat you vertically. He can help you in the screen game. A quick slant if you get the ball in his hands. He knows how to make defenders miss. Dude's a track star. One of the fastest players, not only in Texas, but across the country. So didn't light up the stat sheet a lot last year, but I think he'll get a lot more opportunities to catch the ball this year. Last year, 35 catches, 491 yards, 3 touchdowns. I expect those numbers to increase. I thought Texas A&M might be the team to beat earlier this summer, but I always thought it was more of a Texas A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma battle. I think Texas A&M is trending for other wide receiver targets that they have higher on their board, so I don't think he's going to College Station. This could come down to Georgia and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's wide receivers coach just resigned like 2 days ago. Not good for them in their recruitment of Evans. So they don't have a wide receivers coach on board. He told me that he wants to make a decision on August 26th. So later this month, I think he's going to make a commitment. And if he did it today, I would like Georgia's chances. They've been pushing hard for him. I've written like 2 or 3 stories on him this year alone. He's a great interview, loves Georgia, loves talking about the Dogs and Brian McClendon. So make sure you go over to Dog Post and read everything he has to say about Georgia. But this kid, again, he's got speed, and he's not a guy that the staff should be turning away anytime soon. The other guys that they have on board have plenty of size who can run, but this kid, you don't get a lot faster than him in the 2023 class. I like Georgia's chances to beat out Oklahoma for him on August 26th, if that is the day that he still wants to commit. Right now, I think that's when he's going to pull the trigger. So while I think Georgia's trending for Tyler Williams out of Lakeland, Florida, and Anthony Evans out of Texas, I think they trail Texas A&M right now for Hakeem Williams, a 5-star, legit, bona fide stud out of Florida, 6'3", 200, can run, break tackles. He's explosive. This is a guy who checks all the boxes. He is a 5-star prospect right now, caught 40 passes for 750 yards, 11 touchdowns. I think I've said for a while, especially after his official visit to Georgia, and I believe it was late June. I think it was the weekend of June 17th. Multiple people tell me that, hey, this is a Georgia-Texas A&M battle. I think Georgia's the team to beat. And I've said that, I think, until a few weeks ago. I think I said it in a story in late July that I think Georgia was the team to beat for Hakeem Williams. But after speaking with our friends over at TexAgs, who cover Texas A&M football and recruiting better than anyone over in that market, they feel really good about where the Aggies sit with Hakeem Williams. So I think Georgia is running second. He's got a commitment set for later this late September. I think September 23rd is the date he announced. Georgia, Texas A&M, Florida State was his favorite school growing up. Miami, Alabama, and Pittsburgh, I think, are the final 6. But I think it is going to come down to Georgia and Texas A&M. And right now, I would give the Aggies the lead for Hakeem Williams. Without a doubt, one of the best wide receivers in the country in a loaded group. He's a big deal. So it would be a miss if Georgia did not land him. But again, I think they're training for 2 other guys who are, very talented as well. So if I have to sum up the class, if they do land Anthony Evans, Tyler Williams to go along with Raymond Cottrell and Yazid Haynes, I would give it a B+. They would obviously miss on Hakeem Williams. They went after Jalen Hale out of Texas. That was always going to be tough. Another one of the top receivers in the country. Didn't get him. Didn't get Jalen Brown, who's going to LSU. He was a guy that I think liked Georgia early on in the process, a guy that they would love to bring on board if he wanted to be a Bulldog. So again, not a perfect wide receiver class that they're going to get, but they're going to get guys who can run, guys with size, guys who can make plays, and guys who can make plays after the catch. And that's always what you want. You want to get the ball to these guys, but you want to make sure they can do something with it once they have the ball. And these guys are ones who know how to make plays after the catch and can pick up yards. So overall, I think if they just sign those four, I wouldn't surprise me if they try to bring on a fifth. But if it's just those four guys, I'd probably give Brian McClendon a B+. None of them are 5 stars. You always want to try to get a 5-star. And of course, there's a couple misses here and there, but overall, they're going to bring in dudes who can play. So I do think Georgia's trending in the right direction for at least 2 of their wide receiver targets. We'll see how things emerge over the next several weeks. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I will see you over on Dog Post.